Welcome to the Johnny Bright Bowl here in Edmonton, Alberta. It's the SSA Game of the Week. Connor Toffin and Rob Frisky on the call. We are hot. We are ready to go. We're starting off a bit early today. Game was supposed to kick off at 5:30, and about a minute ago, they're like, hey, they're getting ready for kickoff. Coin toss is done, so we are hot right to kick off. Rob, we're straight to football today, and quite honestly,
let's go.
October, nothing better.
This is nice. It's going to be a great game, great rivalry. Excited to see it.
Rebels will be receiving the kickoff. This is Temmel on the return, makes one miss, breaking it across the 45 to the 53. Great starting field position for the Rebels.
Great starting field position for the Rebels. They are, a lot of emotion goes into these rivalry games, and you can see it on the bench right away. They're excited, and they're looking forward to getting out there.
This game means so much. One of the longest standing, if not the longest standing rivalry, been going on for 64 years. Between Ross Sheppard and Jasper Place, who these kids just got out of school a few hours ago from just steps away. So as we always do on Friday nights, straight from math class to football. And for Jack McDermott, he'll start off at quarterback from the 53, rolling out to the right, quick completion, has a receiver across the rush at 50, and you get an early look at the rivalry game, got drilled out of bounds. Good pickup on first down, though.
I think that's going to be very crucial for the Rebels to be able to do that, to get the ball out of the pocket, get the ball passing. Both of these teams are going to be crowding the line of the scrimmage, trying to stop that run. If they can get out of the pocket, get some early completions, get some first downs, it's going to really help them set up the run and to give them a chance to try to dominate that line of scrimmage.
That was Rasco Todd on the reception. Picked up 8.
Marcus, former West Edmonton Raider.
So into Thunderbird territory from the 49. Quarterback keeper, it's McDermott plunging forward. Not sure if he got there and needed the 52. They'll spot him at the 53.
Just a little short. I would believe they're going to go for this. You got to kind of set this early. They're going to go get it. This would be a good test to see if they can get off the ball, move that Ross Sheppard Thunderbird line. This is the key here, I think, with the offensive line with the Rebels. If they can knock back this defensive line for the T-Birds, it's going to go a long way to helping them.
Big down here early in this football game. Snap was on the ground, threw off the timing of the play, and the Thunderbirds come up with a big stop.
Miscommunication. That's, unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened, but their coaches will not be happy. They'll be frustrated with that. Execution in the big moments to start this game to get going.
Looked like McDermott was working his way under center as that snap got off. So that'll leave way for the Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds offense. Rob, they are dealing with a ton of injuries, and it'll be a bit of a different look for the team in white and blue today. Different quarterback. It's a receiver, Matt Morrow, that will play quarterback today. One of their best players on the team, Justin Miller, grade 12 quarterback, out today. We've seen him on the sideline before the game with a crutch.
That's very definitely. That's going to play such a big part of this game. For the Thunderbirds to be able to make sure that they get their mesh, make sure they can get the snaps like we've seen the Rebels just mess up on. Get their mesh, get their snaps, try to get the ball out, get some quick completions, maybe get the ball out to Brady Lafferty or to Octavian Ansa. Try to move this ball around because the Rebels are going to crowd this line of scrimmage.
Cole Neff, grade 12 wide receiver, is out today as well, so he'll lose yet another weapon. So you end up losing 2. One of your best receivers at quarterback, and one of your other top 3 receivers, one of your other starters, is out of the game altogether. There were flags on the snap.
And these are the problems, but this is against the Rebels, but like I'm talking about that mesh, you're going to see tonight when it's a different cadence, when there's a different person under center, we're going to watch for those early fumbles. We're going to see people go offside. If they can handle that stuff, if they can make this play clean football, it's going to be a real big accomplishment for the Thunderbirds tonight.
So penalty is accepted. It'll stay second down. Just under a yard to go. This is a game that Ross Sheppard has dominated in recent history. But with those injuries, should be an intriguing game today, Rob. And with the weather being what it is, there are some wind gusts going north to south. So right now that means the wind is at the backs of the Thunderbirds. It could make it one of those ugly but beautiful football games at the same time.
It's going to come down to who gets off the football. If our line can knock their line back or the opposite, that's going to make such a difference in this game. Whoever can be more physical, can set the edge, control the line of scrimmage, that wins in football, whether it's sunny, whether it's snowy, whether it's rainy. Knock the guy in front of you back, and it's going to give us, it's going to help lead us to where we want to go.
We've got, I believe, an issue with the yardstick here, so we got a bit of a second to breathe after that hot start. Kickoff should be coming in about 2 minutes, so if you've just tuned in, got started a bit early today. Kicked off at 5:22. Homecoming night as well, Rob, for the Jasper Place Rebels. So a pretty special night for these players, and you've been in this rivalry before on the field, on the sidelines. Always such a good atmosphere. Morrow under center, so it'll be second and about a yard. Handoff is met in the backfield. Early contact there from Ronan Lee.
Ronan Lee and Brian DeJuice, we're going to hear those names a whole bunch today. These two are senior grade 12 players with the Rebels that are leaders on that team and people that the Rebels really count on to make a lot of these tackles. We'll see them on offense as well. This is high school football. Those boys will be on the field most of the night. I did participate in this game. I was, as a player and a coach for almost 15 years, I love this game. I'm really excited about being able to commentate here tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun.
They'll put it right down on the 50. Was just enough for a first down. Morrow under center again. There's been a run-heavy offense so far. Another run here. Ball's on the ground. Who has it? And not a lot of commotion on the field. Means that the Thunderbirds have kept it. Gain of 2. A dangerous one.
These are the things in this game we're going to have to watch out for. Hard to tell if that was on the exchange or what's happening, but the team that can control the turnovers, like the Rebels didn't do that when they had the ball, it's going to be such a big part of this game. Just playing clean football. Try to dominate that line of scrimmage and not make mistakes.
Little bit of a lighter crowd to start here, but as this night goes on, these stands are going to get right full.
There's a lineup outside right now.
It's just going to get bigger, more packed and more packed. Another handoff here to Williams. Plunges forward about 4. Will leave an interesting decision on 3rd and 5.
Decision. See what Coach Levon Horlack, what he's thinking. They're 3rd and 5 in Rebel territory. It looks like they're going to go, and we've yet to see them pass the ball, so I'm guessing they're going to be trying to put this on the ground.
Yeah, well out of field goal range here. Both teams do have a kicker listed on the roster.
Yeah,
Jack Service on the Thunderbirds, but 52 well out of the range, even for the pro guys sometimes.
But a punt here is where they could also be thinking of Rebels, if we could pin them deep, control that line of scrimmage down there.
So Morrow under center again.
Quarterback keep.
They'll fake it. Running down the left side across the 40, has the first down and a pickup of 11 for number 10, and we got a flag after the play as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a late hit on 7. He led with his head. It's an unfortunate play. Young football player, we got to keep our head up, and we don't want to be hitting late, especially with that spear on the ground.
That's going to tack on as well, so ends up being a great decision for head coach Horlack. Pickup of 11, tack on 15 more.
So Keanu Peart is checking into the game for the Rebels. This is someone that their coaches are very excited about. They think he's a real strong player. So we'll get a chance to get our eyes on him here.
First trip to the red zone for either of these two teams today. Run-heavy offense for the Thunderbirds, as we just mentioned. Chance for the Rebels on defense to really just stack up that line of scrimmage. We see 6 rather, on the line right now, a couple just behind. Box is stacked, handoff, and that means there's nowhere to go for Williams.
Now this is where they brought in their middle linebacker in Peart. They got Brian DeJuice out there, Ronan Lee. They're going to stack that box, and it's going to be imperative for Ross Sheppard to do something to get them out of that. Maybe a pass on the edge, trying to get that quarterback. The last time they ran that bootleg with the quarterback, I don't think they were going to pass it, but just trying to misdirect, trying to maybe get the ball from inside the tackle box.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
They got Brady Lafferty on the short side here. A bootleg kind of pass maybe to a receiver would be something
Another handoff. Williams through the line of scrimmage, falling forward, now driving his legs. He needs the 10, pushing the pile forward, and he might be there. An excellent effort after contact from Williams. Picked up maybe an additional 6-7 yards. Looks like it will be first and goal. And close. They're actually going to call it third down here.
Now this is what Shep wants to do. If they can control the line of scrimmage, they're bringing in their big package. They're sending the receivers off. Yeah, they're going to. This is Thunderbirds. This is what they want to do. They want to control this line of scrimmage here, push the Rebels back, get another first down.
This must be a fun game to be in if you're a Thunderbird O-lineman. A little bit of a tush push here, but you can't touch the quarterback in Canadian rules, so kind of just push into the backs of the offensive linemen. Looks like the Thunderbirds have picked up a first, executed it well.
It does. That was very well executed, and that's one of those things with the new quarterback under center. They haven't worked that as many times with the second guy as they did with the first guy, so that's really good execution. So far this first quarter, the Thunderbirds seem to be executing at a higher standard than the Rebels.
Now, also, Rob, we got under 5 minutes to go here. Thunderbirds, if they're going to keep running the ball like this, possessions today are going to be limited.
High school football games are 12-minute quarters. These games do fly by. If you can run and if you can control the line of scrimmage, you can get up and you can hold on to that lead.
Dangerous if you get a lead and you can run the football like this. That's what the Thunderbirds are trying to do. Williams down to the 5.
Okay. The Rebels defense, to their credit, have been tackling. They've lined it up. It's taken them, it must be at least 10 plays so far this drive, and the Rebels do keep tackling. They keep hitting these guys. They're hoping that they can force a turnover. They did have the ball on the ground the one time. They didn't recover. This is what they're trying to do on defense. Be a little more stout on the line, keep tackling, maybe force a turnover. This would be an opportune time right now to get that ball back.
2 goes on third down as well, along with that fumble, as you mentioned, Rob. So a few chances. So the Rebels defense not done yet. Thunderbirds from the 5, handoff to Williams. Same play, plunging forward. And they slowly just start plucking away yards towards that goal line, but it'll be third and goal. We'll see if the offense stays on the field this time. Moreau getting a play from the sideline. It will.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to imagine they're going to try to do something similar to what they do. This is one of those chances now on third down. Maybe they're going to run that quarterback bootleg that they ran earlier, bringing in Josiah Thomas, who is their star defensive lineman, to play fullback. This is their big set. We could see that same tush-push looking play we saw, or we could see something that looks like that, maybe have the quarterback running around the edge. He is one of their top athletes.
This is a full 3 yards that the Thunderbirds need. Big play here.
Oh, this is all squeezed in there.
Morrow under center. Drives forward, and the Rebels.
Big stop by that Rebels defense. That's a goal line stand. Nice job. They're going to be excited about that. Now, offense is going to come out, and they got to get a drive going. They got to get some first downs. That's a great stop for that defense. All that time that offense spent out there to come away empty-handed, Coach Levon Horlak will not be excited by that.
Not necessarily all lost, though, for the Thunderbirds as the Rebels pick it up on their own 3.
It'll be imperative for the Rebels to get snaps this time. They were moving the ball and played some untidy football, ended up turning it over. A turnover down in this end of the field would be not a good thing at this point in the game.
So Rebels starting from their own end zone. Got to be careful not to take a loss here or a holding, but a good run here to pick up about 7. We'll back them off the goal line. We got another flag after the play, Rob. Sometimes that can happen in these rivalry games.
This is guys who've known each other for a long time trying to settle things after the play, which is never a great idea. No. Yeah, it's going to be 15 on Shep, so discipline penalties in these rivalry games are objectionable conduct.
That's a huge play. You got 7, maybe 8 on the run. And then you tack on more yardage for the penalty after.
Yeah. One of the things I want to talk about, number 2, the running back for the Rebels, Brian DeJuste, he's a real good athlete. He's somebody that, given a chance, can break it, can go from anywhere on the field. It can be a touchdown with him having the ball in his hand. He's that kind of athlete. And if this offensive line for the Rebels can push back this Shep defensive line, there's an opportunity.
Oh, boy. Ball was bouncing off the helmet. Back on the ground. And the Thunderbirds believe they've recovered. Rebels jumping in onto the pile. A fight for the football. And this is going to take some sorting out for the officials. Thunderbirds think they have it. Rebels a little bit more muted as they stand around and hope that that ball comes out in their hands. We'll wait for the call here. No sign yet.
Oh, Rebels got it.
And it looks like it is Rebels football. Oh boy, they've avoided disaster.
Well, now the Rebels are not playing clean football. This is something they're going to have to figure that out. We've seen the ball on the deck now, I believe, 3 times for them. They've only had 5 plays. This is not going to help them. They got to get that straightened out as quick as they can. Now, the Thunderbirds are the ones with the backup quarterback who came in. You'd expect that from them, but they were quite clean on all their exchanges, all their mesh. Rebels are going to want to play a cleaner brand of football. They got Brian DeJuice back there. I would anticipate they're going to try to get the ball to him.
2nd and 14 here. DeJuice has some room down the right side. Into the secondary, there is a flag, and this one might be coming back. Good pickup there for DeJuice. Got 8, but this one does not look like it's going to stand.
You can also see there's a glimpse of his athleticism there. We want to get him running towards the goal line. He's running side. When you do that as a running back, when you start turning out and you run to the sideline, that's when these holds happen. The guys who have a straight up block end up having to block a guy from the side. Those holds happen when runners head to the sideline quicker than they need to be. You're giving the ref an opportunity to make a call.
DeJuice.
Now they declined that penalty.
Interesting. Could have been in about a 2nd and 24. Instead, you leave it at a 3rd and 5, but you should guarantee yourself possession. Maybe that speaks to DeJuice, and they know he can turn out those big plays at any point. So you talk about a 3rd-year player who is heavily recruited at running back and linebacker, a downhill runner, and when you get a chance to take that guy off the field, you just do it.
I had an opportunity to coach Brian with the West Edmonton Raiders, and he is a great athlete. He's a really good young man, and getting him off the field would definitely be something that
ball on the ground again near the sideline as well, and if anything, it'll be Thunderbird ball as they touched it last out of bounds.
Lander Yee, the punt returner there, another former West Edmonton Raider, is actually the cousin of number 21 for the Jasper Place Rebels, Ronan Lee.
Ronan Lee committed to play for U of A next year as well.
And another really, there's a lot of real good football players in this game. I'm really hoping that we can see them exhibit some of the talents that they have.
So good field position here once again for the Thunderbirds.
More of a passing set. We haven't seen this as much.
Yeah, I don't believe we've seen Matt Morrow in the shotgun yet. He's always been under center. This one a flip to Tennant. And not a lot there. Rebels defensive line stout once again.
Keanu Peart, that's the one that the coaches were talking about before the game. You can see his athleticism here. If they're going to try to run to the sideline, I don't know that that's a good. You can see number 9, Keanu, they're just taking off, and he's just as fast as the guy with the ball, and he seemed to be a little bit angrier that time. So the Thunderbirds were being quite successful running straight between the tackles. That Rebel defense was fast on that one.
Shotgun again for Morrow, single back, and they will keep it. First pass of the game is complete to Singer along the sideline, so he'll be short of the first by about 4 yards. 3rd and 4.
It looks like here they're going to punt.
It looks like the punting unit is coming onto the field.
Where last time they went for it in a similar situation.
Thunderbirds electing to play the field position game here.
Well, I believe that may speak to the Rebels holding them on 3rd down on the goal line, and also that the Thunderbirds are not that intimidated by the Rebel offense right now.
Ball's been on the ground a couple times, and they haven't really been able to move it too much, save for one run and a penalty.
So we try to pin them back, play some defense, and maybe look for a turnover.
Wind is really picking up here. Hold on, we got a field goal attempt. This is more of a punt, though.
A 52-yard field goal in high school football.
I have seen this once before in high school football.
Yeah.
So
what we've done, I have been a part where we'll run this, but we'll have our end, we'll put them out of the formation so that they are chasing like a punt.
This is essentially a punt. I'm not sure if the leg would be good from here.
If we look at those flags they're blowing, the coaches may think they're...
Jack's service, this is more of a punting play. Seen this before with Harry Ainley last year in the Alberta Bowl. It is returnable across the 40 and out just before the 50. So a net difference of -2 yards after the big JP return.
Should have went for it.
Yeah.
Now that's the end of the first quarter already, and that's how these games are going to move. So now the Rebels will have the ball at their back with some good field position to start. It's going to come down to playing good football. We're going to have to get exchanges. We're going to have to get a good mesh with the running back, maybe get some play action, get the ball thrown out there to some of those receivers that we haven't got to mention yet.
So we got a quick break here at the quarter, 0-0. We're all knotted up here in this rivalry game.
Across Alberta, school sport is more than just competition. It's about community, developing character, and growth. We are proud to unveil our new name, School Sport Alberta. Rooted in integrity, driven by access, and powered by opportunity, this new brand reflects our commitment to every athlete, coach, and school across the province. From championship events that inspire, to mentorship for athletic directors, to new opportunities for participation, we are building something stronger together.
School Sport Alberta is here to lead with purpose.
Connect with pride and champion the value of school sport.
Alberta's beef producers work tirelessly to raise top quality beef and bring the best in nutrition to the plate. With unmatched nutritional value, beef fuels your body with important health benefits, vitamins, and minerals. Beef is protein-packed to keep muscles strong, helps to combat infections with zinc in every bite, and its iron content helps to enhance focus. Learn how Alberta producers are raising the best beef.
Bowl. JP will start with the ball at the 48 first and 10. Rob, it's been a game of two offenses that haven't been able to move the ball so much. Only 2 pass attempts in this game so far, and they've both been pretty short.
It's going to come down to execution. It's going to come down to doing the little things right.
Handoff on play number 1.
Go.
Here's DeJuste across midfield, makes one miss, and has a pickup of 13. Best play of the game so far for the Rebels.
That's what they want to do. If they can put their foot in the ground, if they can run between the tackles, get the ball to Brian DeJuste, let him run. You can see when he gets the ball, he's one of those kids that could go. So first down, Rebels.
We'd like to thank the Sport, Physical Activity and Recreation branch of the Ministry of Tourism and Sport with the Government of Alberta, who's a funding provider to the SSA. The funds received from this area of the government are put towards enhancing the quality of life for Albertans. Going to be a quarterback keeper here. McDermott picks up 8.
Real good read option there. You see them, they send that motion to the wide. They try to get the linebackers moving so they can run back up inside. Really well blocked. Nice job by the Rebels. I don't know if you want your quarterback taking too many shots like that, but first downs are at a premium, and sometimes you got to put your body on the line, I guess.
Rebels run game over 20 yards in these last 2 plays. This really feels like a game where each team's only going to get 1 to 3 possessions per quarter. Of course, the last 3-minute timing rules will help. Here's a handoff. DeJuste met in the backfield. There is a flag on the play. It came from the back judge. And we'll have to check that. But as of now, Marcus Ma has made the stop.
Great job on that interior of the Thunderbird defensive line. You see they're running double teams inside. Guys aren't going back. He has to bounce. Oh, there's a face mask. They got a face mask on. Yeah. You see Brian DeJuste was face mask. So 15 yards against the Thunderbirds. Those are the kind of things in these games when you have a chance to get in second and long, and now it's 1st and 10, 15 yards up. They extend drives and they turn drives into scoring drives.
Ball put down on the 27. The Thunderbirds had one long drive earlier, got stopped on the 3 on a handoff to Josiah Thomas. Now the Rebels looking to respond with a long drive of their own. Started just inside their own territory. now to the Thunderbird 27. This is DeJuice again, patiently waits for blocking. We got another flag on the field here, and you get a good look at the athleticism of DeJuice. That was not an easy 5-yard run. 2 flags, so we'll check them.
Nice job again by that interior line from Ross Sheppard. One of the things the Rebels are going to want to do here now, Brian DeJuice, you can see that these high school football players, he's playing defense as well now. He's got a few carries on this drive. You can see his hands are on his hips. They're going to have to try to get the ball to somebody else, maybe somebody that's not running in between the tackles, try to spread that out, get the defense away from that front 7. These kids they're so physically involved in this game, and they work so hard, but you can only do it so many plays in a row.
See number 0 just by the goalpost there. That may be moving back one day, but we'll have another talk about that a different time. We'll talk about him shortly. Here's another quarterback keeper for McDermott down inside the 15.
Great run, good call. Just that speed off tackle. First down, again, that quarterback takes quite the shot.
You've noticed as well, so I mentioned Josiah Thomas. He's one of their best defenders, if not their best player, pretty much altogether on the football team. They have really made an effort, JP has, to run the football away from him.
Yeah, these teams, they watch a lot of film. They get ready for this, and they know. I'm somebody just looking at it from the outside, and as they right away, my first thing that I came up with is they're going to have to figure out how they're going to handle him on the offensive line. This is part of their game plan.
Quick flip, and got a whistle here. Did they rule an
may not have been
incomplete?
whistled in.
Or they're calling second down. Maybe they ruled forward progress had stopped. Let's get another look. Does that ball ever end up on the ground? Don't think so.
They're saying it is incomplete. Yeah, it did. An incomplete pass.
And of course, Rob, that is a pass because of the flip forward.
Yeah, as a flip forward, he dropped it. That's incomplete. It's not a fumble.
That's why you run that instead of the handoff.
Yeah.
Instead of a turnover, just a loss of down. Ciccarelli in the backfield, another grade 12 running back. They'll go to the air. McDermott scans, has nobody open, goes to the check down across the 5.
Okay, they're going
is
to be
Rasco Todd.
Marcus Rasco Todd, he's going to be about a yard short of that first down. I got to believe. Here comes Brian DeJuice back in from the sideline. And similar just to how it was with the T-Birds early, this is going to, in the same spot, this is going to be a very big play.
Happy to be doing this game. Feels like it's going to end a close one no matter what.
These are great games. I love these rivalry games.
The energy has just really picked up as well.
This is friend versus friend, cousin versus cousin. This is a backyard brawl. This is in the neighborhood. We like these ones.
2-back set, now quarterback under center. McDermott pushing forward. Got a real good push. Looks like the offensive line has won this rep.
He did, but
pending the spot of the football here.
He did, but Jack McDermott, quarterback there, took a shot again on that play. It seems you can see that, oh yeah, our friend Josiah Thomas, number 0, coming across and just laying a hit on these guys. Such a physical brand of football we're getting to watch tonight.
Won't stop the first down, but those are the ones that come back to bite you in the fourth quarter.
They add up, and these teams are already thin.
So from the 3, as you mentioned, Rob, this is where the Thunderbirds offense was stopped earlier. It was Josiah Thomas in the backfield on a handoff.
Oh. This is their first quad set, so this is a new look.
Rasco Todd motions into the slot. Quarterback keeper McDermott taken down. Phil forward to the 1. We'll see when that knee touched. They will spot it at the 1.
So they show motion away. They put their formation to the field and they run quick game to the short side. Now, didn't fool anybody on Shep, and the quarterback took a shot on that one again.
So they'll put it right at the 1. They'll have 2 chances at it here on second and goal.
This is that Rebel offensive line. We're going to Brady Kunasan, Bradley Butler, Keegan Primu. These kids they got a bunch of tough guys in there.
Handoff to Just into the end zone. Touchdown! Rebels strike first.
Yeah, and you can see just an inside dive, really well blocked. They got some movement up front. You see Josiah Thomas, who's the best defensive lineman for the Thunderbirds, standing 2 yards deep in the end zone. That's going to be a good thing for the Rebels. The Rebels impressed me on that drive is that they got their handoffs. You could see it looked like the mesh of their offense was running. They didn't put the ball in the net. Well, they did the one, but it was an incomplete pass. They were running good plays, playing good football, and got themselves into the end zone. Great job.
So as I mentioned before the game, there is kickers on both of these rosters. However, this man's listed as a receiver as Hamad puts it up. It'll be a 7-point lead for the Rebels.
High school football. Sometimes you're the kicker. Sometimes you're the equipment manager. Lots of hats worn by many people.
Having a good kicker in high school football, Rob, not only to make those extra point conversions, we do have a flag on the field as well, just an offside, so won't matter for the convert. But you have a kicker, you have a punter. It can be such a big difference because they're so hard to find, kind of like a goalie in hockey.
2005, Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds had Hugh O'Neill, who ended up playing with the University of Alberta and then on with the Eskimos and the Elks. He was their punter, and he was the middle linebacker. They went the entire season, did not give up 1 point regular season or playoffs. And a big part of what they would do is they played field position, and he would pin guys back. And it was one of the best defensive special teams, and they based their team a large part on their kicking game. And it was very successful for them.
Obviously, you've been around high school football. I've been around high school football. How many games do you see where you get these punts that are going, 5-6 yards or missed extra points, and then the team ends up losing by a point or two or having to go for it later?
Well, I can tell you as a minor football coach and a high school football coach, I got to the point where we go on third down.
Yeah, almost anywhere on the field, right?
And we're trying to set up, we're playing 3-down football.
It's a good kick here. Ross Sheppard turning it from their own 15, running room, and another flag on the play as Singer got past the 40 with a ton of speed. Good job. That was almost gone for a touchdown.
These special teams have been explosive tonight. Both teams, when they get the ball in the special teams, you can see the place that we've seen runners open up has been on these returns. Yeah. Getting back to your point with the kickers, in high school football, in university football, if you can do things where you can gain an advantage on the other team, if you have a kicker if you have a kicker who's specialized and can do these kind of things, can put the ball down there 50 yards, put it in a corner, and the other team doesn't, you're changing the outcome of many games. The percentages, you're changing 25% of the games just by having a better kicker. It's akin to having whoever has the best quarterback, whoever has the best runner. If you have a kicker that can make a difference, you're going to make a difference.
Wind is really picking up in the face of the Thunderbirds here. It is gusting heavily. Here's a handoff. Rebels. Sorry, it is a passing play. Fooled me. Didn't fool the defense, though. They were looking for Singer, and he was double covered.
Jacob Lemke, number 27 out there, staying at home. You can see they run the boot away. They try to influence that 27. He stays at home, sees the quarterback. Now, they're not really playing that. He should be jumping on a pass drop, but they've got people sucked up to the line. Their safety is playing at 6 yards. They got halfbacks that are coming on a quarterback boot. Shep's going to want to try to get this ball out of the quarterback's hands, try to loosen off this defense a little bit. Second and long, they're a little bit deeper, but still nobody deeper than 10 yards.
5 receivers set this time. Morrow going to keep it himself. Breaks the tackle of one defender and right into the arms of another, but a good pickup of 9, maybe just 8 though. So will they go or will they punt on third down?
Hard to say. Keanu Peart got in there really quick, just kind of missed him. Not a great tackling effort by the Rebels. It falls forward for 8 yards. Looks like they are going to go here, and this is the difference if you have a guy that can punt the ball 60 yards, you might be thinking about it.
Ended up being Krasinescu hustling over from that right end to bring the quarterback down. And we got a whistle for the snap of the football. They will respot. Moved it up just a touch. So they move it back a few inches, and here we go. Morrow under center. Full back end, running back behind him. Williams is the running back. Quarterback keeper, Morrow. Boy, the Rebels built a wall, and I don't know that Morrow got there. Going to be a real interesting spot. Right now, they got it right at the stick.
Let's see that spot there. The one guy has it spotted short. 35 looks like he has it spotted on the line. They're running off the field, though.
Rebels ball.
Wow. You can feel that now. The Rebels bench is standing a bit taller, and the Thunderbird bench is starting to sink a little bit. Momentum with the quarter change, it seemed. Maybe that wind is a bigger factor than we've anticipated. But the Rebels seem to be more physical now than the Thunderbirds. Brian DeJuste here. You get to see some of these athletes for the Rebels try to make a play.
To the air. McDermott can't find a receiver. Everybody's covered. McDermott met in the backfield. 2 Thunderbirds in there. It was Fowler as well as Foddy into the backfield. Loss on the play.
No, this is great. This quarterback's got to, Jack here's got, he wants to get rid of the ball. If you throw the ball, they can't hit you. That's what I'd be telling him as his coaches. You don't want to take these unnecessary shots. You throw the ball, we don't lose any yards, and you don't get hit. He's out of the pocket, you get it across the line of scrimmage, it's an incomplete pass. We don't want to take those shots.
Just 3.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. And we got flags on the play.
Legal procedure on the Rebels. Comes down to trying to play good football. We got to get a good mesh. We got to get off on the count. All those things that we worked on the first couple days of camp.
Brings it to a 2nd and 16. This wind is just howling down there. You can hear it through our headsets. And
Yeah.
not sure if it's the floaters in my eye that I've had over the past week. I thought I seen a raindrop, but I'll check myself on that. 2nd and 16. McDermott
This is
can't find anybody again. No one opening up. Now goes to the boundary, and it's picked off. Ball's on the ground, but I believe the Thunderbirds were already out of bounds. A huge interception. They'll take it at the 27. They get the ball right back for their offense.
turnovers. I like it better. He didn't take a sack, but we got to, there's nobody open, throw the ball out of bounds. 42.
It's Marcus Ma.
Marcus Ma, real good job by him. Hold on to that football, try to get a return. Rebels are still in good field position here. It's going to come down to if Ross Sheppard can start getting that ball from between the tackles. Maybe get the ball to a receiver here somewhere.
Ma has flashed today quite a bit. Couple tackles, now an interception. Quarterback keeper here for Morrow. Not a lot of room, and we got another flag. It is surprising how quick this game has felt with all the flags we've had holding against the offense.
Ronan Lee playing on the edge there. Oh no, that's 20. Parker Hickey, Parker Hickey, another great grade 10 football player. Really going to be a good player for the Rebels for the next few years. You can see him there getting off the ball. They had to hold him, and great job by Parker Hickey. Former West Edmonton Raider. May have been the defensive lineman of the year for them last year.
Well, this one is going to be a 1st and 20 once they put this ball down. So far, just that one Rebels touchdown from DeJuste, a run of a couple yards. Other than that, it's been a defensive battle.
Physical football. There's been a lot of good hits. It's been a very physical game. Both these teams trying to still dominate and control the line of scrimmage.
Morrow in shotgun, 1st and 20. You think they got to go to the air at some point. They will here. Morrow into the flats. Can't find the receiver. He was looking for Tennant.
I like that play call. The execution was there. Missed him with the throw, but this was as good a look as they've had. You can see that they had him open. They had schemed that play. There was something there. Now we're going to be in 2nd and 20. I'm looking for the Rebels to pin their ears back here. We're going to see a lot of pressure on this quarterback right now. I'm guessing they're going to sit a bunch of receivers back there, or their defensive back play what we call a gangster coverage. They're going to send a blitz, try to make them throw it underneath, and make a quick tackle.
Rebels drop out. Rush 4. No time here for Morrow. Completed, but it was a 1st and 20. They had a long ways to go, and not a lot of running room for Singer. Rebels defense comes up with another stop.
That's exactly what the Rebels were. They're trying to get a good quick pressure here. They're even going to allow them to throw this short pass, come up, rally, make a tackle. They got 4 or 5 guys coming to make this tackle. 3rd and long punting situation. Now this year, with this wind in their face, this is going to be a tough situation here. Look for the Rebels to end up with very good field position here. So they're running a field goal. This I have not seen.
I'll tell you about it after, because I've seen it once. I was super confused, and then I had it explained thoroughly to me by Rob Herod.
I understand how it works. It is easier to block, and you can protect your kicker.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get much of coverage down the field.
So officially, this goes down as, oh boy, a 93-yard field goal attempt and a miss. Something like that. But of course, that is what a lot of these not a lot, sorry, but a couple high school teams run as a punt. Harry Ainley, like I mentioned earlier, they did it last year in the Alberta Bowl, so I believe that's only the 2nd longest field goal attempt I've ever called in my life, because they went inside their own 10 one time. And it's confusing. Yeah, but it is just simulating a punt.
Yeah, and it's the same rules as a punt. And I understand that it works like a punt.
So if you're not a Canadian football fan, or even if you are, you maybe have never seen that before, but something you would not find in the NFL. South of the border.
I really like the Canadian kicking rules. I think they're great. That was a good play for the Rebels. Now that is a very taxing play to have that running back run 45 yards to try to get 5, and you see now he's out the next play. So
yeah, DeJuice ran right to the sideline. Kind of has to stay there.
Yeah, and when he's been out, they've been running quads away, quads to the field, and then running that speed to the back. So if they maybe a speed off tackle to the weak side of here again, we'll see if that's what they're going to run when DeJuice goes out. And it is.
Quarterback run, McDermott across the 50. Thunderbirds all over it. We're going to have another 3rd down decision. The Rebels, Tack Landry and Alex Lesko have some thinking to do.
Well, I don't know what they're going to do. Looks like their punt team's coming out.
3rd and 3, haven't picked much up. You got 99 seconds till the break.
Well, yes, and you have the wind at your back right now. I don't think you want to give a turnover to the Thunderbirds and give them good field position with 1.5 minutes left. Punt it down there. It's a good choice. I struggle as a coach. I always go for it, and then I find out I shouldn't have done it on that one. So maybe Coach Lesko and Coach Landry.
Almost blocked as Ma almost made another big play. Bounces into the hands of the return man. This is Lander Yee across the 30. Stutter steps, and a good return will bring it out to the 31. Pretty good special teams on both sides there.
Really, we see the physicality of these teams on special teams. Keanu Peart there running down. Lander Yee, great return. You can see that these teams, they have a lot of really good athletes, and they're playing good football. We got Ross Sheppard now is going to have 1.20 minutes to try to get this ball into, well, I know they're in field goal range because they kick 93-yard field goals, but maybe a more makeable field goal range.
So I've been talking about the wind a little bit. On my weather app here, it says 13-kilometer winds, but 40-kilometer gusts.
Gusts, there you go.
So that does not make it any easier for a quarterback today who usually is lined up at receiver for Matt Morrow. That's why they've been keeping it on the ground. Morrow across the 35. Not a ton there, but a good patient run. He finds just enough room to pick up 6.
Might see the Rebels call a timeout here. Doesn't look like it. The Rebels now, they're in a position to get the ball back here, especially with, you can see the confusion for the Thunderbirds in the backfield there. Rebels should be looking to get this ball back, and maybe they can get an opportunity at a scoring play before the half.
Big play here on 2nd and 4. Handoff. Williams. Tons of space. Splits the safeties. Down across the 40 and a touchdown saving tackle. Big run for Williams.
Biggest play of the game.
It was Tyler Marson who saved a touchdown in the end.
Now the defensive line for the Jasper Place Rebels got a bit too far. If you see it there, 20, 21, they got too far up the field instead of squeezing that down. And as the gap between the defensive line and the offensive line got too big on the edge, and real nice cutback lane for Williams.
Now the Thunderbirds want to work quick. Another handoff to Williams. Can they do it again? Makes one miss. Boy, oh boy, Williams cuts so quick. We got 2 great backs in this game. A pickup of 9 with just over half a minute to go.
Now it seems to me they're running that as a bit of a delay. So what they're doing, they're taking that step, that counter, and they're allowing, you see 20, you see the defensive line for the Rebels getting up the field, and it's allowing to creating a vertical seam in that defensive line. As the one defensive line goes up the field, you double team the other one, you push them back, you're creating that vertical seam. They capitalized on that 2 plays in a row. You can see that Ross Sheppard, they have coaches in the box, they're looking at things, they're making slight adjustments, they're calling a different play than they were calling earlier, and they're having some success.
And we knew today, as soon as Justin Miller was on the sidelines before the game, not taking warm-up, that it might have been a bit of a limited offense. When you have a game like this, Rob, it feels like one where no team is ever going to say, hey, we're going out there to lose today. But yet, if you win and you have that many key injuries, it'll kind of feel like you stole one.
This is a rivalry game. They want to beat the person that lives down the block from them, and they're so excited for this one. And yes, but there's people out. They're going to be thinking next man up. We got to get ready to play this game, and they're trying to play good, clean football. That's the thing that's going to help them.
Wouldn't have mattered today if I was lined up as the ex-receiver. Another handoff, Williams. Not a ton of space. O-line got a good push. Pickup of 3 and a first.
Now you watch this one here on the replay. 20, Parker Hickey. Instead of getting up the field, he stays closer to the line. You'll see on the edge, 20, he plays the line, and they run right into him. Where on the other ones, he was getting up the field and creating that vertical seam. So now they ran out a couple times and tried it again, and the Rebels adjusted.
Clock started at 25 seconds. Going to lose about 10 seconds here between plays. Morrow, quick screen pass. Has a receiver, Lafferty, taken down at the 25. And the clock will run at the ref's whistle. One last play coming.
I'd call a timeout. You might get
they
2
do
more.
have one more.
Yeah.
So it'll be 2 plays.
Looks like they're kicking a field goal.
Have time to run one more play if they wanted. Quick run up the middle, right? Then you get that one extra untimed down pretty much.
Throw one up to Brady Lafferty.
Yeah.
You know.
Got just enough time, but it does look like the kicking unit is out.
Now this will be into the wind. So this will be a 32-yard field goal into the wind, which
It's
not a gimme. And we've seen the Rebels returners be quite explosive. So this could be a very exciting play.
It's almost simulating closer to a 40-yarder. I don't see a tee down yet. Okay, they do have one coming back. There was that timeout called as well. So Seller, backup quarterback today, will be on the hold. And this is Jack Service from 32. But it'll play a little longer. Service gets a good boot away. Good. That is a huge kick for the Thunderbirds as they take the goose egg off the scoreboard. Boy, oh boy, we talked about special teams, how much of a difference it could make. That is a huge kick for Jack Service.
Even just for the confidence of the team to get the ball back with 90 seconds to march down to complete a field goal, to have the operation, everything work fine, shows that, we're starting to get things together. We're in for a real good second half.
So that's a 32-yard field goal. I just want to reiterate once again, we got wind gusts up to 40 kilometers an hour. So
37 now.
Yeah, so 37. So that's simulating just over a 40-yard field goal.
And he had room to spare.
Yeah,
he was good for a bit past that.
I'm just saying, I still love the Rouge. If the Thunderbirds get a Rouge and this stays like a 3-point game, and they have the wind at their backs in the fourth quarter, things could get pretty interesting.
Very exciting.
So that will do it for the first half of football. A 1-yard touchdown rush for Brian DeJuste, and then a over 30-yard field goal for Jack Service. That would have been good from a lot more. Rob, it was a quick first, a lot of running, some not that clean football, a lot of flags, but some big plays as well. And we are in a tight game here, emotions running high as teams go to the locker room.
A very physical half of football, and that was kind of what we expected. in the second half, we're going to be looking to see which team can clean up the game the most, which one can stay away from turnovers, stay away from the penalties, see which team can control that line of scrimmage. I think a key to controlling the line of scrimmage will actually be getting the ball from outside the tackles, trying to spread it out a bit, because right now these defenses are playing downhill at these offenses.
It is just 7-3, but this game is being quickly played. Lots of excitement. This is really the pace of a hockey game right now. We got 9 more minutes to go till the second half. Rivalry game. The Rebels leading 7-3.
Across Alberta, school sport is more than just competition. It's about community, developing character, and growth. We are proud to unveil our new name, School Sport Alberta. Rooted in integrity, driven by access, and powered by opportunity, this new brand reflects our commitment to every athlete, coach, and school across the province. From championship events that inspire, to mentorship for athletic directors, to new opportunities for participation, we are building something stronger together.
School Sport Alberta is here to lead with purpose.
Connect with pride and champion the value of school sport.
Alberta's beef producers work tirelessly to raise top quality beef and bring the best in nutrition to the plate. With unmatched nutritional value, beef fuels your body with important health benefits, vitamins, and minerals. Beef is protein-packed to keep muscles strong, helps to combat infections with zinc in every bite, and its iron content helps to enhance focus. Learn how Alberta producers are raising the best beef.
Welcome back to the field here at the Johnny Bright Bowl on this IC Live Procast. Rebels, Thunderbirds, Connor Toffin and Rob Frisky. Boy, you hear the atmosphere, you hear the
Big
drum
game.
line, and you know, for these kids on the field, we got a tight game, by the way, 7-3 Rebels, and things are gonna, the atmosphere is just gonna keep getting better and better, and it's a night to remember for a lot of these players down on the field.
The homecoming game, rivalry game. These kids, they grew up together. They grew up playing against each other, playing on the same teams together. For some of them, they're grade 12. This is their big game, and they're going to remember this. They're going to remember the time that they got to play against their cousin. They got to play against the kid who they grew up with, and you want to win those games.
Yeah.
You want to be the person that when you go back after and you see the people the next time you're in the community and you're hanging out, and you're like, that was a real fun game. You're going to want to be able to say that you played a physical brand of football and you came away with the victory. So I think we're in for a really good second half.
And of course, both of these teams, a lot of pride. They're both likely in the playoff mix for this year, and you do want to get to those playoff games. But I remember from my own playing days when I played baseball and hockey, sometimes it is those games where you're playing your friends, you're sending those texts all week long. Not that I was ever guilty of that, of course, right? But sometimes it's those ones that you remember.
Absolutely.
And just bowling over your friend, chucking him a bit, giving him a stiff arm, and it has been a physical football game so far that has kind of been dominated by defense.
Yes, well, and it's been, right now so far, what's been happening is that both teams are looking to control the line of scrimmage. They've both been on defense, been able to play downhill, to not be worried about the pass, and they're just attacking. And the team that can get into a position where they can maybe throw the ball, get the ball outside the tackle, is going to have an opportunity to then go back, run the ball in between the tackles. And so far, the Rebels got it going a little bit. The Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds started out good, and then they kind of lost their consistency. They had it back at the end, so I think the second half is gonna play out really good, and then we're gonna have a lot of fun watching a great high school football game.
We've seen a couple guys really flash so far. One of them has been Marcus Ma, 42 on the Thunderbirds. He's got that interception. He is absolutely flying around out there, but we've also seen both running backs get theirs today. And Brian DeJuice, he picked up a big run, has a touchdown, and Kenyon Williams with a long run that set up that half-ending field goal, for Jack Service from 37. And those are the two big scores so far, both running backs getting it done. And it's, so often in all of football, but in Canadian football especially, you talk about those 3 plays. Every game there's 3 plays that are going to dictate the outcome of the game. So far, if it stays tight, maybe we've had 2, but it feels like we've very likely had 0 so far.
I think so far the plays that we've had have been defensive plays. We've had those turnovers that have changed the game. The offensive haven't really been able to dictate as much as those defensive have, and the defensive line getting off the ball, forcing turnovers. Those plays happen on defense too. And if somebody's defense can, get them off the field, if they can give their offense a chance with a short field, all of a sudden you'll flip a game real quick.
Thunderbirds have had that interception from Ma, as well as that. The Rebels got the stop as the Thunderbirds were on the 3, so those were 2 of the big plays that you can put a star around at the end of this game. You think about the Thunderbirds were able to score that 7. We're sitting in a 10-7 football game right now. And of course, scoring changes, play calling and all that, so you can't really play what if, but I can tell you one thing.
They would have 7 points.
They would have at least 7 points. So the Thunderbirds will get possession here to start off the third quarter. They'll have the wind at their backs in the third, which is interesting. The Rebels, on the other side, they will get wind in the fourth quarter. It is a windy night tonight and could play into things. Ball's on the ground here, but it is picked up well in time. Singer across the 35, breaking down the left side, and he's taken down. Good tackle there for Peart, who you really loved that first half. Peart.
Yeah, he's athletic, and you can see if you have the ball, he's chasing you, and that's what you're looking. He was playing middle linebacker earlier, and if you're running to the sideline, he's going to catch you. So great return for the Thunderbirds. You can see well blocked. And here comes 9. Yeah, Peart just chasing him down, making a good tackle, and you can see the tackles he makes are physical. He's not helping them to the ground. He's forcing them to the ground.
So how much offense can the Thunderbirds muster up with a wide receiver playing quarterback. They got 3 points of offense and a near score in the first half. Can they get more in the second? Williams, to start it off, will go for just 3. Good stop there as Tyler Marson got right into the middle of things.
You can see this Rebel defense, so they're all coming forward. Linebackers are stepping forward. They're playing run. They're playing downhill football right now. Linebacker Kane McLeod getting in on that one. Keenan was again in on that play. Ronan Lee, Parker Hickey, the same usual suspects we've seen all game. Shep's going to have to do something to keep these people from running at the person standing beside the quarterback.
Look at how stacked up this box is, and this has pretty much been every play. It's a 5-receiver set. There's still 7 in the box for the Rebels. Just expecting run all game long. Won't get it here. They'll go to the flats. Some room into the sticks. That is a good counter play call from the Thunderbirds. Singer picks up the first, or at least gets really close. They might have spotted him short here, Rob. Looked like he had it from where we are, and they do call it a first down.
This is what the Thunderbirds wanted to do. You can see right now the Rebels are playing with 8 people in the box, and every one of them has their eyes on the tailback. Every one of them is watching number 1. To not put the ball in here is to fake through to him. You see those eyes. You see everybody move with the running back. Then to pull it out of there and get it to that receiver coming across. That's what the Thunderbirds are going to want to do.
Thunderbirds from the 49. Be a quarterback keeper here. Morrow cuts to the right, puts the head down, and gets forward to about the 49. See at the bottom of the screen there. Every block is getting finished right now.
Yeah, the physical football. People finishing their blocks. That's a nice job. They're just trying to do that same thing. They're trying to give a bit of that misdirection just so the Rebels don't know right where to run as soon as the ball is snapped, trying to give them a little second guess. But these quarterbacks keep taking shots, and you want them to get the ball out of their hands sometimes.
5 yards will work, though, for the Thunderbirds on first down. Got the Rebels to jump, but no flags here. Should have maybe been one for the Thunderbirds. We'll get one on the replay. Ball's taken away, but it was already whistled down. Boy, McLeod thinks he got it, but
he does.
We'll see on the replay here. So you see that defender on the right side jump across. We'll keep our eye on McLeod here, number 18. Whistled down, elbows down.
Yeah, he was down. We don't have a replay on that. He was down. But this is a punting situation, so the Rebels are going to be quite excited about, 2 and out on offense to start this half. Yeah, you can see that the Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds, they are trying to do a little more misdirection this half. They're trying to get the eyes off that tailback. And they're going to do this field goal looking punt again.
Yeah, this is.
I'm curious to see if they kick it out of bounds every time. Is that what they're doing, or?
61-yard attempt for the Thunderbirds, and they will just punt it out of bounds.
Yeah.
I love that play. I love commentating that play. Every time, because I feel like every time we see it, someone's going to be tuning in and seeing it for the first time and just like going, what the heck is going on here? But that is a punt out to the 28, so actually good for 27 yards net difference there. Not bad.
Which is not bad. That's that's a good tactic. If that's something that's helping your team, and that's a way that you can change some field position, I'm all for it.
Especially when your defense has played the way the Thunderbirds defense has.
Yes, and you're looking to force a turnover here. This is good field position for the Thunderbirds. They're going to try and play defense and get the ball back to their offense as quick as they can.
These low possession, low scoring running football games can sometimes resemble rugby. Just move the ball forward, moving the ball backwards sometimes. We've had penalties, and this run is going nowhere for DeJuice. Another stop for the Thunderbirds defense.
The defensive line setting the edge, forcing that there. You see number 3, Lenz Lubin. You see this defense stringing this out to the sideline, and once you have a running back that's turned his shoulders that is now running towards the sideline for the Rebels, that's not what they want to be doing. They want to be putting this ball in between the tackles and getting towards the goal line.
Call it a pickup of 1. 2nd and 9, floated towards the sideline. Feet are inbounds. They'll call it a catch. And they are right at the sticks. Cooper Ochoa showing off the footwork.
That was the best pass we've seen today. And that was, it looked like it was well executed. They got the snap. Quarterback got at the ball, turned his shoulders, found his read, got rid of it, completed pass. They did mark this short, so they're 3rd and less than a yard here. and they're going to go.
This thing might need to move up a millimeter.
We missed that. The Rebels missed that snap on this similar situation on the first drive of the game. And they got it this time.
Nice and easy. For the Rebels offense, at least they made it look it. Pick up about 2.5, maybe 3 on the sneak. And once again, just something to watch for on that play, Rob. You can't push your quarterback in Canadian football.
No, that's a tandem buck, they call that. That is against the rules. The tush push does not work in Canadian football. It will be called.
So good discipline there for DeJuste. Push that left guard, help him win at the line of scrimmage. That's allowed. DeJuste breaks right off the tackle, cuts back up the middle, and once again, maybe picks up just a yard.
And he's got that play is designed to go between the tackles. He's got to run this ball. You'll see their pull here. He's got to be running at 54's butt. Even if it's not there, you cram it up in there, you see what you can get. To running it out sideways, you're going to get holding penalties. And as a running back, as soon as you're running the wrong direction, you're looking to get hit. And you see that DeJuste, he's been tackled 10, 11 times already this game, and each one of those adds up.
Second down and about 8. Another handoff here. This one just out to about the 46. Ciccarelli. Not a ton of room, and do the Rebels have to punt it away here? Looks like they will.
Yeah, punting situation. It's Rebels they had a good passing situation. They're unable to run the ball between the tackles. So it seems to me that they still want to get that ball where they're going to get their short passing game. They're trying to get their stuff going just to try to open up. Right now, Ross Sheppard is still playing with so many people in the box, just trying to stop that run.
Picked up by the return man, Lander Yee. Looking for some room down the right side, spinning away from a tackle and taken down at the 38-yard line. They'll mark it up at the 40.
Yeah, good field position for the Thunderbirds here. Starting position at the 40. Middle of the third quarter, down by 4. This is a good spot for the Thunderbirds here. Now they can get a drive going, get a couple first downs, start to improve the field position. Somebody's going to win this game. Somebody's going to have to make a play. There's going to be a big play here in the next quarter or so, and I'm looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun.
Might have an issue with the clock or something here.
Looks like.
And there's not a lot of communication devices sometimes, like in the CFL from ref to booth. So if they're trying to reset a clock, that's not the easiest thing. You kind of have to mime it.
Well, what we can see though, we got the Rebels here. They've got 8 players in the box. They got a safety that's sitting, he's looking to play downhill. They've got 12 eyes on defense, all watching this running back, all looking to stop the run. So the Thunderbirds are going to have to do something to get the Rebels off their mark. Make them to be not sure what's going to happen. Or it's really hard to just knock them back when they got 10 guys standing there right at the line of scrimmage.
So we got a second halftime starting to develop. And the ref trying to yell up to the timekeeper. But this is a pretty packed stadium tonight, so that noise is just getting drowned out by, what do you think we got here, like 1,000, 2,000 high school students? It's quite a bit, maybe not 2.
Well, I think this,
but we still got people streaming in.
Yeah, there's still a lineup outside, I bet you. This is the hottest ticket in town in the West End.
We're trying to get the lights turned on.
That's a good call.
It's
I think there's probably about 15,000 people here, Connor. Yeah. That's my estimation.
So why Rob, stop the game here to get the lights on? I think
Safety.
I might have an answer.
Yeah, it's safety. Once it gets so dark, and those lights should be on. And if we don't have goalpost pads, we don't start the game. If we don't have light, they pause the game, and we're up. We'll be going here. Now it's officially Friday Night Lights. Here we go.
Took my line right out of my mouth. You got a good ovation from the crowd. The lights are on, and you can just see it brighten right up.
Oh, yeah.
This is perfect October football weather. We got just over 18 minutes left to play in this game. 7-3 for the Rebels. Thunderbirds need some points. They'll start off at their own 40.
Rebels bringing a blitz. They got
run. This is Williams. Good pickup on first down. You know, the big difference in this game when these drives have been successful versus not have been the first down pickups.
You'll see here 20 for the Rebels. He jumps inside trying to help out, and boom, as soon as he does that, it's going to bounce outside. This is that's first day football stuff. If you're playing on the edge, we got to stay on the edge. I know Parker Hickey, he's a real good football player. He knows better than that, and I look for him to correct that on this next play even.
Williams seen it right away as well. Took advantage, picked up 7. They will fake the handoff to Williams. Morrow, 2 hands on the football. Forward to the 54, first down.
That's the Ross Sheppard coaching staff. They saw the same thing that we saw, and they went right again after number 20. So they show that inside run. He steps in, and they're running around the outside of him again. And we have 18 is down. That's Kane McLeod, linebacker. He was the one who believed he had that fumble recovery in the first half there.
So McLeod is down, as you mentioned, Rob. This is that time of the year where the weather's a little colder, teams start to get depleted, and I'll be honest with you, football can, at this time of year, October, can kind of just start to get painful, especially when you're in Edmonton, Alberta, and not Miami, Florida.
And even then, you've been playing football for every day for the last 2 months, and there's nobody out here who's 100% healthy. That doesn't exist in football. These guys are all dealing with stuff, and it's such a physical, it's such a physical game, especially the way this game is being played. Somebody's getting tackled on every single play. There's no incomplete passes. There's no just run down there, have a ball fall short. Every play, somebody's getting tackled to the ground with 4 or 5 people landing on them. So the blocks are more physical, the tackles are being more physical, and they're starting to lean into that. The team that's more physical here is going to be the team that's going to be excited about the results in 17 minutes.
And for those that don't play or aren't around football that often, keep in mind these players, they take hits during practice as well.
Absolutely. Hit
the weight room. They're sore after that sometimes. Ball juggled around a little bit, but Williams was able to maintain possession. Not a big pickup, though, just 2.
Yeah, and Keanu appeared again on that tackle. You can see these linebackers, though, they're not thinking pass. Those linebackers are playing downhill. You got 2, Brian DeJuice, you got 9, Keanu Peart, you got 21, Ronan Lee, and Jacob Lemke out the half. They're all looking run. They're all thinking run. It's really hard to run the ball when you can't get anybody's eyes off the backfield. You watch these Rebels here, every single one of them is watching number 1 right now.
Another handoff, Williams. Shoulder pads down, moving forward across the 50. Short by about a yard.
Yeah, Keanu Peart again with the tackle. That's that same delay, that counter delay they're running. And that's an interesting play because they're allowing the Rebels to get up the field, trying to run that counter underneath. And it's been their most successful play.
I don't think they're that far out of the field goal range of Jack Service, but this would be from 53, so we need about another first down or 2. Wind at the backs, but not that much. Feels like it's died down a little bit as well. Wind kind of settling a bit. Morrow.
Oh, that's going to be real close.
Yeah, he's right to the sticks. They needed the 46, and we'll see where the spot of the football is. I think they got it. First down, Ross Sheppard.
Yeah, with that going for a field goal or a punt there comes a time in these games and you just have to say, hey, we want something, we're going to take it. Right. It's 3rd and 2, you're not going to stop us. And if we're not getting 3rd and 2s, well, maybe we weren't going to win tonight. So I like that call. I like the confidence Coach Levon Horlak showed in his team there.
Handoff, Williams gets a good burst off the line and was able to pick up 6, maybe 7.
That showed a little bit of explosiveness. You
It
can
did.
see there. You can see the running game there. A little bit of a turning of the tide there, where the Shep looked a little more physical on that play. And now you see, as we say that, one of the Rebels players, Ronan Lee, who is a senior leader linebacker on that team, him being down for any part of this fourth quarter will change this game for the Rebels.
You know, explosivity from running backs, so often it's thought about with those 40, 50-yard runs, but I mean, we see it a lot. There's a really good running back right now that plays at Commonwealth Stadium named Justin Rankin, for those that are watching at home, and there are so many plays where I watch that guy, and he shows explosiveness on those 6, 7-yard runs as well, where another running back might pick up 3, 4. He's able to just get ahead of a tackler, get to the edge, and pick up a few more yards than anyone else might. Kind of what you see on that run there.
When you see that, though, you'll see that it's a little bit of momentum. They started got the juice. The next step, they get another step, and they start. Next thing you know, they do just with Justin Rankin. You'll see him break one for 75.
Yeah.
The defense sees it too.
Second and about 3. They'll give it to Williams again. Get another good look at that burst. And he drove through a defender past the first down stick inside the 35.
And they're continuing with that same counter play. You'll see that they're just inviting the defensive ends for the Rebels up the field. Actually, they didn't pull anybody on that. That's just an inside zone. They get that same counter step, that delay step, and they run that inside zone. But that's a good job for the Thunderbirds. Just knocking people back and letting their explosive runner run up inside.
2 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Bit of an interesting story here. They'll probably want, if they're going to kick ever, kind of, oh my goodness, what a tackle. We'll get back to that in a moment. That was DeJuice, who also lines up at linebacker. You've been talking about hits on the quarterback all game, Rob. This time, a big hit delivered on tomorrow.
It's the game we play. It's the game we choose to play. Brian DeJuice is a physical football player, and you can see what can happen if, these quarterbacks running inside the linebackers. We talked about the physicality that Shep showed on a couple plays. Then the Rebels step back up, and they make a hit of their own, and that's the kind of game this has been, and that's the kind of game we're going to see for this fourth quarter coming up. Oof.
DeJuice with a bit of a spear. Looked like Goldberg.
Man.
Just inside the 35, early movement and a flag. So the point I was going to get to, Rob, was if you are going to kick a longer field goal, you kind of want it to be in the next minute here with the wind at your back. So it makes it crucial. Either you got to get stopped now and kick the field goal now, or you got to go and score that touchdown next quarter.
I'm going to guess that Coach Horlak, Coach Sheppy with the Thunderbirds, they're thinking, let's go score that touchdown. And that's they've been going on third down. And you know what? I think unless we get into a 3rd and 6 or 7 in your own territory, we're going to see a lot of third down teams trying to get the first down here. Which is fine. I think that's fun. As a coach, I'm very guilty of going on third downs that we shouldn't.
I would go for it every time. Always easy to say when you're in the booth. Williams, big cut inside the 15. And that Thunderbird offense keeps marching forward. Another first down as the clock dribbles under 40 seconds. There is a Rebel down as well.
That's that physicality we're talking about with the running back, Kenyon Williams. You can see that now. That's twice in a row, or 2 times on this drive where he's had that explosive run that have left Rebels winded on the field. And I don't believe, I don't want to speak out of turn because I don't know what the injury is here. But a lot of these injuries, when you see these kind of runs, they're not game-ending or career-ending injuries. Sorry, I don't want to speak because I don't know what's wrong. But a lot of times these guys are back in 3-4 plays. They're just beat up. They just took a shot. They're hurting, and they just need a minute to get their breath together. They need a minute because they're just hurting. And that's too bad. Now I've said that. I really hope this young man gets up. But that's what happens. You see that physicality that the Thunderbirds are now. Once you've seen it, you know that they've run that play on this drive. They run that same play 7 or 8 times now. And it's just a physical, hard run right down the middle of the field. And you can see 18. Yeah, that's that
McLeod again.
He was injured earlier. And you see it's just like they're making so many tackles. Ronan Lee's made 10 tackles tonight. McLeod, he's been in on 10 tackle. Like, that's what happens with these long drives, and every time that somebody runs the ball, somebody has to get tackled. Somebody has to do the tackle, somebody has to fall down, and that's why these injuries, that's why you need to be in shape. That's why you got to be in a weight room all off season so that you can play these fourth quarters in rivalry games.
Kind of a perfect example when they talk about the run takes effect as the game goes on more and more.
Absolutely.
So another handoff to Williams with McLeod out of the game for at least 3 plays. Pickup of 5 again. These runs that were going for 2-3 earlier are now going for 5-6.
And it seems that Kenyon Williams, that he's getting fresher. You can see that he's starting to feel that that defense is getting tired. And I know not for me, because I never got to be that runner that was beating people up, but when you see that defense is getting pounded down, that gives you a little bit of enthusiasm that, maybe you're going to score a long one here.
Zeros on the clock, last play here in the third quarter. Can the Thunderbirds cap it off with a touchdown? It'll be Morrow running the football. Sutter steps behind the line, and he gets to just within the 10, but there's a penalty after the play. I caught it just out of the corner of my eye, so that will not be the last play of the quarter. Wonder if this is against Singer, number 88, on the Thunderbirds.
It was against unnecessary roughness with him throwing Cano Peart.
So that's going to come back 15. This is after the play as well, so it's a third down. And they will whistle the end of the quarter.
Wow, and now they're going to kick that field goal that we talked about into the wind.
So big penalty there.
Yes.
We'll likely have a field goal attempt when we come back from the break. No scoring in the third quarter. Will we have some scoring when we kick off the fourth? Might get it in one play. Still 7-3 for the Rebels.
Across Alberta, school sport is more than just competition. It's about community, developing character, and growth. We are proud to unveil our new name, School Sport Alberta. Rooted in integrity, driven by access, and powered by opportunity, this new brand reflects our commitment to every athlete, coach, and school across the province. From championship events that inspire, to mentorship for athletic directors, to new opportunities for participation, we are building something stronger together.
School Sport Alberta is here to lead with purpose.
Connect with pride and champion the value of school sport.
Alberta's beef producers work tirelessly to raise top quality beef and bring the best in nutrition to the plate. With unmatched nutritional value, beef fuels your body with important health benefits, vitamins, and minerals. Beef is protein-packed to keep muscles strong, helps to combat infections with zinc in every bite, and its iron content helps to enhance focus. Learn how Alberta producers are raising the best beef.
it's kind of a 30-yard gain, but now, of course, instead of a kick, they have to score the touchdown.
Yeah.
And so many things go into this. And do you trust your defense here up by a score? You give the ball up, but you'd also the Thunderbirds would need 70, 80 yards.
We haven't seen the Rebels placement team yet either. Those are not freebie points in high school football. I know it is just a little bit longer than a convert, but you're on the hash. That makes it a little bit tougher.
Weird angle.
This is not a for sure thing as this field goal. Field goals get blocked. There's I don't mind the idea trying to score it here. Worst place, you leave them on their 2-yard line with a minute and a half.
What would you do here? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I'd be wanting to win the football game right now. The Rebels score a touchdown right now, it's over.
I guess the one thing we don't know is how much confidence they have in their place kicking game, like you mentioned.
Yes, and
if you got a lot of it, does that influence your decision?
This is also one of those things where, we were just talking about that Ross Sheppard might even be letting them in. So as the Rebels, if you score, I'd be trying to run this clock down as much as we can, and the Rebels are going. They're not kicking that field goal.
They're going to go from the 4. Another handoff. Williams going to lose yards.
Brian DeJuste.
So the Thunderbirds get the stop they need. DeJuste taken down in the backfield by Foddy.
Great stop. And, we got 100 yards in a minute and a half. You need 1 point. I think we knew that it was going to come down to this, didn't we?
It felt like this the whole game. You kind of felt like after the first few drives, you're like, okay, I don't know if either teams are going to get to double digits today the way the defenses are playing. And you knew in a game like that, it's going to come down to a few plays. Is that play still to happen, or was it that fumble recovery from Ronan Lee? This one's going nowhere. No room for Matt Morrow, the usual suspects, in on the tackle for the Rebels.
Yeah.
Peart again.
Peart, McLeod, Lee, Hickey, Jacob Lemke. It seems like this defense is just, they've been swarming in the backfield the whole day. So we're in the second down. Thunderbirds need a play.
Gain of just 2. Clock is running. They're going to go to the air, into the flats, have a receiver. Got to get to the edge. Nice tackle. They were able to find Tennant. But Lemke.
Jacob Lemke, former West Edmonton Raider. This is close. They gave him the first down. First down. So on the 20.
It's actually Jai Patel on the tackle.
Jai Patel. Not a former West Edmonton Raider.
His DBs haven't been in on a whole lot of plays. Linebackers have gotten all the work done in the running game.
They have. And you see them now, they still have 8 guys in that box the whole time.
Morrow runs towards the tackle, lowers the shoulder, and gets it to the 26. We got under a minute left to go. Feels like the Thunderbirds are just hoping one of these runs just breaks for a big one.
I agree, and it does seem that way. And I think that they have a lot of confidence in Moreau. I might want to get the ball in Kenyon Williams' hands 1 or 2 more times. He seemed like he's the kid who had some spark. Rebels blitzing outside here.
Morrow, design screen, and looked like that one was just a bit out of sync there as Williams was turned around. Not everyone was on the same page on that play for the Thunderbirds, and it goes as an incompletion.
That's what happens when you bring your quarterback in. Now they're pulling their quarterback out here. They call timeout? Yeah, okay. That's what happens when you're putting a quarterback in, a receiver, and you're putting them in on Wednesday to learn plays for the game on Friday. That's kind of what would be expected.
Under 40 seconds to go. Rebels can ice the game here on 3rd and 4. Williams in the backfield. They'll go to him. Has some space to the 30-ish, 33. First down, but it took 7 seconds.
And this clock's going to wind here. It's going to go. They're going to have to get on the ball. Yep, here they go.
Still think they'd need 40 yards just for a chance at a single here. Quick screen, Lafferty Got to get to the boundary here. He'll go down inbounds. Short pickup. Clock will run at the ref's whistle. Looked like he might have had a chance to get out, but you also have Marson, who played it well, angling him back in.
Now,
from the 35. Thunderbirds going downfield.
the PI.
Flag! Just what the doctor ordered for the Ross Sheppard Thunderbirds. 8.6 seconds left to go. They might have time for 2 plays. Not a spot of foul penalty. It'll be 15 yards.
Now, that's the thing about throwing that ball down the field. Bad things can happen, but good things can happen. And it seems that maybe we would have liked to seen a couple of those earlier in the game, even just to loosen the defense off. Now with this last play, I'm expecting that the Rebels are going to send a lot of pressure up front and have that same gangster coverage they were running earlier. We'll have some defensive backs at about 10 yards, hoping that they throw the pass underneath, come up, rally tackle, and game's over.
Thunderbirds can take their time here. Clock not running after the flag. From their own 50, need a good gain and then need to dial up something to get points. Lots of motion. Morrow fakes the handoff. Booting out, quickly dumps it off. 3.5 seconds to go. And it might be time for a lot of chaos.
Well,
Thunderbirds hoping for a Stanford band on the field.
maybe a pass interference down. Well, that'll give you 15 yards. It'll be tough to make a field goal from there. Maybe kick a single.
The wind has died down. Now, weird rugby rules could come into effect here.
Yeah,
We are a derivative of rugby. Do you have a forward pass into a punt?
A forward pass into a hook and ladder punt. Teams do run. I know when we coach high school football, there would very often you would have like a single point and trying to look for a rouge, different ways to get that. Also, have the Rebels worked on kickback, all those kind of things. But
Feels like we might be too far for it at the same
yeah,
time.
like I don't know how you could. You would have to try to get something so you could have somebody get at least to their 45 to try to punt it. So you got to try to create some space, and that's not been something they've been able to do at all tonight.
Rebels crowd was fired right up.
Well, this is it.
Thunderbirds on a bit of a win streak in this rivalry game. Prevent defense out right now for the Rebels. They got 4 DBs standing just outside their own 25.
This does create some space, though. You could get a chance to get some space around the midfield.
Thunderbirds deep down the sideline. They're looking for a flag. It is picked off. Tamel will ice the game. He's going to try return it. Goes down just outside the 40. And the Rebels seal it on defense. Back-to-back stops. Back-to-back turnovers. Jasper Place will win.
No, congratulations to the Rebels. They did what they needed to do when they needed to do it. They got that drive where they finished that drive in the end zone. We saw the same one the 2 drives before that where the Thunderbirds were stopped on the 1 yard line. And these are the big plays that determine the outcome. Great game for the Rebels. They'll be excited about that. They're going to get a lot of momentum for that. You got to feel for Coach Horlack and the Thunderbirds. They're going to be disappointed. They were hoping for better tonight. You know, this is high school football. These kids will remember this game. They fought so hard tonight.
It was, before the game, Rob, I described the tonight. It just felt like a night with injuries and with weather being what it was. I used the word beautifully ugly to describe how this football game could have went. And kind of feel like that's what we got tonight. All the defensive stops. A game that went by in a heartbeat. I mean, we were going to kick off at 5:30. We kicked off a few minutes before. It's just past 7 right now. So it was over in a heartbeat, and it was close the whole way. And sometimes that's all you can ask for. And for the development of these young players as well, these close games really help.
The thing that I'm going to take away from that game was the physicality that you saw. There were so many hits, and you could just see these kids. They would get hit, they would get tackled, they'd get up, and they'd get back in the huddle, and you could just see them. They kept running, and they kept running. And the determination that you could see, like these kids care. And that's what's so great when you get these rivalry games. You know that these teams practiced all week. You know that they were coming in and maybe a bit short-handed. They had to change their game plan. But that doesn't at all affect how much they care and how much they want to win and how much they're willing to lay their bodies on the line for their teammates so that they can get themselves in a position to win a game like this. Congratulations to the Rebels. Their efforts paid off tonight. The Thunderbirds are going to go back and they're going to have, they're not going to feel great about tonight, but they should be very proud of how hard they worked and the physicality that they put play after play after play. We saw Williams, we saw Lander Yee making tackle after tackle. You watched on the Rebels defense with Brian DeJuice and Keenan Peart and Jacob Lemke, and it just seemed like every play they're just, boom, get back up, and they line up and they go again, and a bunch of these boys are going to sleep well tonight.
Yeah.
That'd be my prediction for how this goes now.
And obviously, one of the beautiful things in football as well is the handshake line after the game. And you talk about, all the trash talk that probably happened going up into the week and the Instagram DMs likely sent, the text messages, the Snapchats, and it all comes out on the field. There's that big burst of energy. Everyone hits each other with intent. And then after the game, you get to just that respect. And you put all the emotions that came out in your back pocket, and it goes from rivalry game to kind of that community moment.
It is, and this is a community. And I can tell you, West Edmonton football is in a great spot. These two these are proud franchises, proud programs, and every year they show up, and every year they play hard like this. And these kids, they get an opportunity to be a part of that tradition. And I really enjoy seeing how hard and how much it matters to them. And you can hear them cheering now. The fans are excited. And 7-6, it's not necessarily the fireworks, but it doesn't take away from the emotion, and you can see how hard, how much it means to these young men and how much they're willing to sacrifice for their team, how much they're willing to sacrifice for that guy standing next to them. And, I think both clubs should be so proud of themselves. I think that they played not necessarily the game that they wanted, but they played it the way they wanted. They played it hard. They played physical. They did the things that as a coach, that's what you ask. Do the best you can. When you get down, you get back up and you keep slugging. And they did that for 4 quarters. And there was hit after hit that game. It just seemed that I would kind of have to catch my breath when I'd see these guys running, because I know there's 10 people chasing you right now, kid. And those hits were happening, and it was, that's football. That's high school football in Alberta, and you can see how much these young men and these young players, how much they care about their team and what they're doing, what they're willing to sacrifice to try to win a 7-6 game on a Friday night at the Jasper Place Bowl.
It feels for the Thunderbirds, you almost feel for them tonight, because it feels like the game for them. You got the SSA Game of the Week coming up, and it's football. Like you said, you deal with injuries. These things happen, and you have contingency plans. But at the same time, in the back of your head tonight, they were missing a top receiver. They were missing their star quarterback, who I believe was named a Player of the Year last year. And guys that are undoubtedly likely to go play football at the next level. And it feels like there was a little more in the tank that was standing on the sidelines today for the Thunderbirds. So when you go to your next week of practice, which, of course, didn't mention it during the game, obviously with the teacher strike coming up, a bit of a complicated situation. We won't go too much into it, but not sure how much more these guys are going to go on the field coming up. Do they have to rest a week? Do they get a month off? And but we're going to talk as if they'll be continuing to play football, and after a loss like today's, how do they bounce back?
You can control what you can control. With the strike or whatever's going to happen, you can't worry about that. You have to, you got to get to the film. You got to see what can we improve on. They're going to go through this film. They're going to say, hey, look, we put the ball on the ground too many times. We took some penalties. The Thunderbirds had 2 potential touchdowns taken off the board. When they were down inside the 5-yard line, they couldn't finish those drives. So there was opportunity there for them to win that game. On the film, you're never as good as you thought you were, and you're never as bad as you thought you were. You're going to go through there, and you're going to say, hey, there was 4 plays. That we changed these 4 plays, we changed the outcome of the game. And they're going to have to figure it out, to have their coaches. They're going to figure out what those plays were, how they can get better, and come up for whatever their game is next week. How do we get our game plan together? Maybe people get healthy, if you can push this thing down a couple weeks, and you're trying to make the playoffs. And it's one football game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You got to be ready for that next game and get to the film. And I can tell you, Coach Levon Horlak, such a good coach, such a proud program, they're going to work hard. That's what they're going to do. They're going to get up, they're going to dust themselves off, and they're going to get ready to practice and to go. And I'm betting they wish they could play the Rebels again next week.
So a bit of a weird football game tonight. Ended 7-6, low scoring, lots of defense, but the Rebels in the end in this big rivalry game here in early October end up taking home the win on home turf. 7-6 Rebels over the Thunderbirds. Good night, everybody, from IC Live.
Across Alberta, school sport is more than just competition. It's about community, developing character, and growth. We are proud to unveil our new name, School Sport Alberta. Rooted in integrity, driven by access, and powered by opportunity, this new brand reflects our commitment to every athlete, coach, and school across the province. From championship events that inspire, to mentorship for athletic directors, to new opportunities for participation, we are building something stronger together.
School Sport Alberta is here to lead with purpose.
Connect with pride and champion the value of school sport.
Alberta's beef producers work tirelessly to raise top quality beef and bring the best in nutrition to the plate. With unmatched nutritional value, beef fuels your body with important health benefits, vitamins, and minerals. Beef is protein-packed to keep muscles strong, helps to combat infections with zinc in every bite, and its iron content helps to enhance focus. Learn how Alberta producers are raising the best beef.